Welcome to my channel. Today, I will tell you about a terrible event of the 20th century. I wish you a pleasant viewing. On October 13, 1985, at about p.m., a major earthquake struck northern Tajikistan. The strength of the tremors officially amounted to 8 points. The epicenter of the disaster was the city of Karakum and its reservoir. In the morning, the city was unrecognizable, huge cracks, earth fractures and uprooted trees, devastation, panic, fear, and tears. Tajiks still remember the strongest earthquake. That terrible evening, when the earth literally flew up, remained in the memory of even those who were still a child at that time. The strongest tremors were felt in Chakalovsk, Gafurov, and Kujan. The disaster leveled the villages of Kuptaluk, Ispasar, and Kat Agan Dot in Karakum. Many houses and buildings collapsed to the ground, and the embankment of the reservoir and pioneer camps were pushed into the water. Please like this video and subscribe to this new channel, and you will see many more interesting and useful things. That evening, someone had already gone to bed, and someone was awake, watching TV and doing household chores. The program time was on TV. The sports news review had just begun, when there was a rumble from the ground, and a vase fell off the refrigerator, recalls Jamshed Karimov from Kujan. The whole city was immediately de-energized. We took refuge in a small room, and everyone spent the night there. There were several more aftershocks during the night, but with slightly lower scores. In the morning, we learned that the epicenter of the earthquake was in Karakum. At that time, I was in the 5th grade, and the whole school was collecting clothes, books, sweets, and much more to help the injured Karakum schoolchildren. There were many victims. It was officially announced 29, but in fact much more. An entire village went underground, a shift was covered at the carpet factory, and then the rescuers were also hit by repeated tremors. People saw corpses or wounded people in the hospital, even on the street. The hospital was small in the city. There wasn't much room. Although many people escaped under the machines on the same carpet, many in the city or in the same village were saved by chance, but nevertheless, there were practically no casualties in the city itself. People knew what to do, and they built there, taking into account earthquakes, which shook us regularly. But the city and the surrounding area suffered, specifically cracks in the ground, raised asphalt, almost all houses without pipes. A lot of houses collapsed, cracked. What didn't collapse on its own was then demolished a lot because of these cracks, and sometimes just to build a better new one. While they were thinking and deciding where to build, the people lived first in tents, then in trailers. Some of them lived in wagons for 2 years. There was a whole neighborhood, a carriage house, with streets, numbered trailers. There was even something for leisure, a children's room, and something else. There is a wagon for the family. If there were no children, then they could give out a car for 2 families. Except for spring, it was practically hell the rest of the time. The winter, though Tajikistan is cold, with winds here and there. In summer, the heat is hellish. In short, it's a drama. We received some benefits, food packages. At first, I remember, they distributed all kinds of food and vegetables for free from cars. Somehow we lived where to go. Moreover, it all somehow united people who really coped with all sorts of problems together. Bonfires were lit everywhere. There were many of them throughout the neighborhood. Back then, there was no internet or mobile phones, but rumors spread very quickly. The adults discussed the destroyed carpet factory, where there were many victims and wounded. Everyone was sitting and waiting for more shocks. We sat there until morning. After that terrible earthquake, the tremors were felt for 2 more weeks, and every time it shook, the children quickly went out into the street without panic. It was 2 weeks of fear, Nadezhda recalls. At the Zarbov factory in Kujan, then Leninabad, Rakimov worked as deputy director for economic affairs. Muzabia Babhadshiva from Kujan recalls. He lived in Karakum himself. On the night of the earthquake, he walked to the factory, worried about the employees who worked the 2nd and 3rd shifts. We were more afraid for him because he was already old. These were such responsible people at that time. Thanks for watching.